So first, I just want to give a quick overview. Basically, this is, and I chat GPT this. I'm not even gonna lie, but it was based on Mr. Stephen King's short, what is it called? Stephen King's short story, which had the same name.
The
Um,
monkey.
yeah, it was also called The Monkey, apparently. But apparently there was actually a couple differences between those two. Like,
Really?
yeah, you know our main character Hal.
Yeah.
He had like two sons instead of one. I'm pretty sure, allegedly,
Yeah.
and some other stuff too. But I'm not gonna give a long overview because I'm not gonna lie, the movie doesn't deserve it. No disrespect. I mean, full disrespect. But just overall, like, what were your first impressions? Because we went to the movies, went to the theaters, and we watched it with some friends. First impressions, what did you think?
Uh, it's pretty disappointing. I can't lie.
Mm.
Uh, I mean, some people may say that horror and comedy is always nice, but it just felt like the movie had no structure and the plot was very dry.
Mhm.
So, I'd say those are the key takeaways I got. Uh, it just was overall not a good movie.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also fairly disappointed. The movie kind of felt cheap. Just weird to say. Like I mean, they put money in like the cinematography looked nice, but the movie
Yeah.
itself, like as far as like story and stuff, like I did not.
It didn't. Yeah.
It felt kind of cheap. I'm not gonna lie. Like I even remember like at the start of the movie, the first thing that happens is like a death, right?
Yeah.
And at first the setup was kind of interesting. Like there was like an intrigue and everything, right? But
Yeah.
like soon after, it all kind of falls apart. Like they kind of start the story with the dad or something. And this is also like a spoiler review, so it's not spoiler free. But it starts with the dad, and then they have this mystery killing machine monkey. And then those first, I'm not gonna lie, the first few minutes were kind of promising. I was like, oh, maybe we might be in for something. And then it just all kind of became a joke. I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like sometimes in like a modern day Hollywood, there's a little bit too much of an obsession of like making everything lighthearted. Like I don't think everything has to be lighthearted all the time, even if it's like a comedy or something, right?
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, I haven't watched Fresh Prince, right? But I think you have, right? But
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
yeah, that TV show.
Yeah.
As far as like great comedies go, all I always hear is like the best comedies always have like they tell something like through comedy. It's not just half-baked jokes, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what the movie felt like to me. It was kind of just like a lot of jokes. Some landed, I guess, allegedly, but most of them felt kind of
Like
forced.
one out of like 100 or 2.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was like the last scene in the movie, well, not the last scene in the movie, but like at the very tail end of the movie or something, like it
yeah.
barely landed or something. Like I don't know. It was kind of it was overall disappointing. Now, the thing that I wanted to actually discuss was the philosophy behind it, or at least the perceived philosophy from the watching experience.
Yeah.
Um, do you remember when they opened the box, like the kids, Hal and Bill, right?
Yeah.
They opened up the box, and on the box, well, like, before opening it, it said like life or something, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that like as a commentary, that like saying sort of like, oh, life is like or life or loss of life, death is random, right? Like because the whole movie they were trying to control like the who dies or whatever, but all of it wound up being very random. Like I didn't think that was like a bad like I thought that was a pretty inventive, pretty cool idea, right?
Yeah. It's
But I
just
sorry, you
poor
say?
execution.
Yeah.
It was just the poor execution behind it. It like sure it's a cool idea, but it went nowhere really. Like
Cause
from the beginning till the end, it was the same problem, and at the end, they just accepted it. And then like in the movie, you saw it like the world just goes to hell, right? So like I mean, there was really it didn't even go in like a full circle. Like, you know, like lots of good movies go full circle with the
Mhm.
plot. This one went in a straight line, and then at the end they just gave up.
That's literally what I saw, and it was so disappointing because it felt like it had a lot of great elements, and that maybe it had something to say, but the execution was so piss poor. No disrespect, that like I couldn't fathom. I couldn't fathom it at the end. Like, someone might argue, right? Like, what would you respond to someone saying, "Well, it's not them giving up. It's just that what they're saying is just like life. You know, you have to accept it because there's nothing you can do about who dies or whatever." Like,
Yeah.
what would you respond to that if someone said it's like, oh, it wasn't them just giving up. It was trying to say something.
Like, I mean, they could have made it seem so, but I don't think it was like that because at the end they were like trying to make up, like they were trying to become brothers or whatever because they hated each other, and even that part was super weak. It had uh the bullying made no sense. Like, these modern movies don't know what bullying looks like. Like, they had him, like, girls went to the boys' locker room and stripped him naked. I couldn't believe it.
Like, what? No, they just like they told him to
Ultra realistic.
give his pants because his brother said that their mom died. Like, what? Or did I?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to be like subversive of your expectations or some jive.
yeah.
But like, that was still a piss poor execution. Like, it made no sense. Like,
Especially after the kid's mom died. Like
yeah,
at some point, it doesn't even make sense. Like, their jokes made no sense.
yeah. I think that was maybe their downfall. Like, because they in their marketing, it's like, oh, it's not just a horror movie. It's a
Yeah.
funny, like, entertaining horror movie, right? I feel like they wound up overdoing it with the humor, and then it just made the movie into a joke. Like, like I said, like, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I don't necessarily share the worldview, I do think the commentary of like, oh, like life's greatest tragedies are pretty random. Like, there's no point in trying to, like, there's no point in thinking that you can control that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that is a very smart philosophical commentary, or at the very least, like it's pretty weighty and worth thinking about. But these
Yeah.
dudes, like, they spent no time on that, and they spent more time on just like gore. Even the horror wasn't that good. Like, there wasn't a horror part, to be honest with you. The monkey wasn't very intimidating. Like, to be honest, it looked creepy at first. I'm not gonna lie, right? But like, no one's death was taken seriously. Like, even even like even people closely tied to the boys' family, to their families who like sort of took them in and everything, like their deaths got played off as a joke. If you remember, like the uncle and the aunt.
Yeah. They all got brushed over.
Yeah, like what? But it's, I don't know, man. The movie felt just kind of stupid. Like, it's no disrespect. Like, I get every movie, right? And when I say this, like when I talk about like movies and I say, oh, this movie is stupid or whatever, I'm not trying to discredit people who worked their heart on it. Like, a movie can be bad even though somebody tried their heart out. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
with all due respect, bro, like, I thought the movie just came off as stupid, which is like, I hope that's not what they were going for. I surely hope so.
I don't know what they were going for. Like, the characters were trash. No disrespect.
Yeah.
The plot was even worse. Parts of the plot made no sense. And then at the end, like you know how you get like some satisfying endings. Like, we've seen Interstellar, right? And like, Interstellar is like, like up there for one of the greatest movies of all time.
Mhm.
But like, and I certainly don't expect that. But like, I mean, you can also have a bad movie but still have a way better plot than what the heck this one had. Like, I'd argue Madam Web had a better plot than this.
I fear. I fear. Like, I wholeheartedly agree. It felt like like, no disrespect, it just felt like they didn't try as far as like making a story with any amount of structure. Like,
Yeah.
and to me, it felt like they were kind of hiding under the guise of humor. It's like, oh, we're trying to be funny, so the story doesn't have to really make sense. Like, which I don't
Yeah.
think. Like, I think that's some nonsense. I think you can have humor in something, and that it's not supposed to take away from the story. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, lots of great comedy movies like have a really good plot. Like if you look at Grown Ups, I don't know if you've seen that.
no.
Like they keep it funny, they keep it lighthearted, but there's still parts that make sense, right? And then there's also like character development or whatever. These characters didn't develop at all. Like at the end, when they like you could possibly say they quote unquote developed when the brothers like they squashed the beef. However, who cares? Because the guy dies 2 seconds right after. It just felt like they were just riding off with the shock value of like how they could kill someone, right? And like I mean, movies like that, they're just not good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and even at the end, like the sort of like redemption for Bill. I think that was the older brother. The redemption for
Yeah.
Bill didn't really make sense. Like he had developed like a cultic obsession with the monkey, right? And he was like worshipping it and everything.
Yeah,
But then at the end they reveal, oh, he was just mad because he thought that his brother killed his mother or something, right? And then
Yeah.
and then the resolution is Bill realizes, he says, like when his brother's like, oh, that was my mother too, and then he's like, I never really thought about that. Really?
really
Like these guys are
groundbreaking.
like in their 30s or something. You never once thought that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no, one of them has a kid, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy was just trying to like win the lottery, trying to kill his brother.
It's like, you telling me in all of your years,
Yeah.
like they're maybe 30 years old, I don't know how old they were, you're telling me you never once thought that your own brother and you share the same mother? Wow. Like, I don't know, man. It made, instead of, because they answered nothing about like any of the mystery aspect, instead of it feeling like a sort of like mystical object of some kind, it just kind of felt like an excuse for the story to happen or something.
Yep.
Which like, cause okay, imagine you're watching like Avengers or not Endgame, Infinity War or something, right?
Yeah.
And Thanos shows up and he just does what he does. No backstory, no motivations, nothing explained. Like, you'd leave just pretty, like, you leave the theaters or wherever you watch it, you just kind of leave feeling like what? Like, what was that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in this movie, they don't really bother trying to like,
Explain the origins.
yeah. That was also one of the biggest disappointments, because I was like, they have a big opportunity. I thought it was all like a setup with like, oh, like they found out that the monkey can like do this, can teleport, all these random abilities. I thought they were like setting up some really cool storytelling, but come to find out, they set up absolutely nothing.
The entire movie felt like a setup.
It was a setup to grab our money. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
tragic robbery. I couldn't believe it myself. I'm not gonna lie. Like with all due respect, whoever directed and wrote that movie, I'm glad you got your bag. That's it. That's all I can say.
Did they get their bag, bro? No way it broke. No way they broke the budget.
No, I think they did. I mean, I chat GPT'd this.
How
so I
much
don't know
money
if it's
did they
true.
make?
I'm pretty sure it was like 10 million for the cost, and I think in its first week or something it broke like 25 million or something. Allegedly.
Dang, that's a lot of people that got robbed.
Yeah. Like, to quote the late great Skip Bayless, I don't even know why I said late great, he's still alive, but to quote that dude, like, that was an all-time robbery. That's what he said. Cause it actually was. We got robbed. But yeah, honestly, that's gonna be it for the movie review for this, cause I don't even want to talk about this anymore, to be honest with you.